everyone, my name is Lena and I'm here to catch you up on everything that happened in episode 108 of Critical Role, Looming. We pick up with the party return to the temple following their meeting with the Archheart. The Unseelie guards are still under a hypnotic pattern, helpfully recast by Ira, and Imogen asks if Ira can modify their memories so that they think lewdness turned against them. Ira casts Modify Memory, trying to convince one of the Guardians and the emissary, who we learn is called Cashador, that the Vanguard turned on the Unseelie. One Guardian fails their save, but the other resists, so Imogen casts Psychic Lance.
And just down there, and then just crumble to the ground, and the other one goes, ah!
Oh no, he had an aneurysm.
Oh no,
what happened
to him?
It's an aneurysm. I've seen this before. I can take care of him. Here, I'll drag the body.
As the emissary wakes up, he whispers to the Unseelie Guardian to push and run, so Fearne casts Thorn Whip around his ankles and Ashton slams into him with his hammer, knocking him out and kicking off initiative again. Dorian grapples Cashador and Orym knocks him out again, and initiative is over. That was a very quick combat. Chetney and Laudnet rush inside and tie up Zathuda while he is still unconscious. They decide to take back their captives to Nana Mori's, but realize that without the Fey spectral horses she conjured, it's quite a trip back, so Imogen messages her to ask for some help. While they wait for Nana to arrive, Orym climbs to the top of the temple and looks for any incoming threats, but the way seems clear. The group takes a short rest, and Zathuda begins to wake up, so Breus knocks him out again. These guys are lucky that this is a fantasy world, or they'd have some serious concussions. During the rest, Laudner casts a Spirit of Death in the shape of Bordor, commanding him to haunt Zathuda.
I'm just going to have him pop out, and I'll be like, hey, how's it going? Will you haunt this guy?
all right. So as Bordor's spirit kind of emerges and kind of looks over you and goes, really?
Oh my goodness, so good to see you.
Right. So the spirit just kind of like drifts over Zathuda, and you watch for a moment as Zathuda's breath becomes visible. Just the very temperature around him begins to drop, and the spirit just kind of embraces his unconscious body and then vanishes within.
The group are still unsure how to handle their prisoners and still want to try and deceive them that the Ruby Vanguard was behind this attack, so Breus suggests staging a little play, pretending to be the Vanguard and letting the emissary wake up to witness it. Orym points out that there was a whole other fight with them that Cashador witnessed, so Dorian instead says that he can cast Gaius, which is a command spell that lasts for 30 days. They could then command them to convince the Unseelie to lay down their arms, and they would be forced to do so or take psychic damage every time they resist. So they decide to go ahead with this idea. Laudner casts Bane to try and help with the save, and after 2 casting attempts, the emissary is baned. However, they realize that Gaius isn't foolproof since he may choose to sacrifice himself to get the truth across, and so they really need him to believe that the Vanguard attacked before casting that spell. Laudner contemplates using Phantasmal Force, but this seems too risky as well. Eventually, Breus casts Disguise Self on himself to look like Ludinus, and Imogen puts on a Ruby Vanguard cloak, and the two put on a little play, with the others pitching in.
This is gonna work.
Everything's gone according to plan, Ludinus.
You mean all of the Unseelie guards have been taken out?
Yes, we took them all out. There was a little bit of chaos at the end there, but,
And you left the emissary alive?
so far.
Oh, I'll take care of him. It will be my great pleasure.
I just
Your schemes are at an end!
As soon as Orym enters for his scene, the emissary is unconscious.
Breus rolls a 20 deception check and Imogen a 17, and then they put on another little scene.
Action. Cure wounds. Now. Damn you, Delette. I would have gone away. Are you sorry? I would have killed all the Unseelie and back to Critrole.
My grandchildren.
Cut. I slap Breus.
Ow.
As they are working out their final scene, they look over and see that Zathuda has vanished, putting their entire scheme in jeopardy. Laudner, with her spirit of Bordor, can sense that he is just outside the temple. Imogen Misty steps outside where she sees Zathuda running for the forest. Chetney then dashes out of the temple after him and throws his chisel at him.
And just full on, just like spin dive into roots and dirt on the outside of the temple.
And as he face plants and slides, underneath his back garments on his ass, you hear tss as a little brand of castigation forms on his butt cheek.
As they start dragging him back into the temple.
I'll drag him.
Watch out for the freaking! God damn it, we suck at
As you land over top, all of a sudden this shadow appears and darting out of the tree line, landing extremely heavily onto the ground.
Glomglut scoops up Zethuta's unconscious body, crying out in anger. Breas Misty steps outside and uses Nature's Wrath, a channel divinity feature, to attempt to grapple the dragon, but Glomglut rolls a natural 20 on his strength save. Laudna counters with silvery barbs, but the reroll is still a 19. Orim also rushes outside and chooses to attack Zethuta's unconscious form, forcing him to fail 2 death saves. It's Zethuta's turn next, and he rolls his death saving throw.
Zethutta,
After
roll a death save.
It's a
It
workshop.
expires in the grasp.
He just died. Zethuta just died.
Sire Lord Zethutta, currently in the grip of the claw, just goes limp and exhales his final Fey-given breath. The blood father of Fearne Calloway expires in the grip of his bonded Fey dragon. The minute he falls limp,
Dragon's not gonna like
the
that.
dragon kind of like pulls up and shakes him for a minute. And there's this horrible, baleful screech of pain and fury.
Ashton stays inside to keep an eye on the emissary and the guardian, and outside, Imogen flies up onto Glomglut's saddle, where she attempts to calm him, but he is too distraught. She speaks into his mind that they could still bring Zethutta back, but he needs to stop fighting. Dorian, leaving the emissary to Ashton, joins the fray outside, and Laudna casts a ray of frost to attempt to slow the dragon down, but she misses twice. Fearne then makes a cut in her hand and approaches Glomglut.
And I'm gonna run my hand along my moon sickle, so I start bleeding.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold it up to Glomglut. I'm family. Please calm down.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Okay.
Really cool, Ash.
Which one do I roll, Laura?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of chimp stuff. Okay, 31. 31. I rolled an 18 and I have a plus 13. That's 31, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Chip still.
As you hold up your hand there, the fey blood running from the wound, kind of dripping down your arm, the thrashing fey dragon, like his neck is flailing about, screaming, slows and looks at you intensely, and you see its 2 mouths kind of open up, and that like energy begins to kind of boil up within it.
Try to rub the spot that I know is that he really likes.
It like smells your blood. And it's still tense, its shoulders still held and tight, but its head comes down and close to you.
The others all hold their actions, watching this interaction play out. Fearne asks to mount Glomglut, and he gives his assent, so she climbs up and sits behind Imogen. She asks him to carry her friends, telling him to hold tight to Daddy. Imogen then casts Sending to Nana, telling her about Glomglut, and she says that she's almost there. Nana appears in the sky in her weird bird form, and Dorian summons his equine dragon Coriolis, and the whole group takes to the skies. Well, all except for Ira, who has gone missing and is nowhere to be seen. As they all fly off, we have an image of the Archheart statue with a mustache drawn on it, courtesy of Breas. The group arrive at Nana Mori's, where Laudna explains a bit about what went down with the emissary and Zethutta, and Fearne says that she thinks Glomglut won't listen to her for much longer, so Nana Mori conjures a mass of twisting vines and branches which pin Glomglut to the ground. Fearne calls out not to hurt it, and Nana says that she's just containing him. The group ask what to do with Zethutta, and Nana says perhaps she'll put him through the loom, and that she'll be able to make him talk even after his death. Nana Mori quickly scoops him up as Glomglut whimpers under the vines at the sign of his master taken away inside Ligament Manor. Nana carries Zethutta to a room below the tree that the manor is built into. Inside of this room is a chair with chains hanging from it and metal rings and all sorts of contraptions, and she latches the body to the chair.
It takes you a moment to realize what's happening. The body of Zethutta, the armor is cut free, and his body is being flayed in strips rapidly. You see glimmers of muscle, then bone, and you see like this faint essence, like his spiritual energy is starting to drift from the corpse, and then you watch his other external arms grab those strange tubes and begin to almost siphon and suck up his lingering spiritual anger. And you watch as these strips of flesh are pulled out. They're then grabbed by other arms to begin to weave them into a tapestry-like singular piece of fabric, and stretching them and pulling them off to different hooks at the sides. You watch as what looks to be like a frame, like a hexagonal frame, is built, lowered, and then what's built from his matter is stretched across it. What remains of the pale skin of Sorrow Lord Zethuda
I throw up.
You're looking at the ground.
In the corner.
has been now turned into a 3 by 3 foot hexagonal art piece with his face in the center of it stretched. Eyeless. And as the machine whirs to stillness, she plucks it from its hooks and turns it around. It's good to have hobbies.
What?
Isn't that right? And the lips go, that's right.
Oh, man. Cool. No.
Nana asks Fearne where she should hang Zethuda, and Fearne suggests the tiki bar. Imogen asks Fearne if she's okay, who sort of manically replies, yes, I'm fine, but the group can tell that she really isn't. They go to the bar where Nana hangs the Zethuda tapestry, and Fearne speaks with Zethuda, or what's left of him.
You don't know me very well, but I'm Fearne.
I know.
You don't, though. You don't know me at all. And now you're not going to get a chance to.
I know what you are.
You were just another person looking for power. Even if you had to step on your family to get there. I don't like that very much.
Fearne asks him about the Ruby Vanguard's plans and what it means to be a vessel. Zethuda says that the final boundary around Predathos is built from a similar substance to the Divine Gate, and Ruidusborn are the key to opening that gate, but it will take someone very strong, like an Exultant. He says he wants Fearne to make Ludinus suffer at the end, and to see that it was him, through her, that foiled Ludinus's plan. They ask what to do with Gloomglut and how they can bind him to Fearne. He says that they need a blood ritual and someone practiced in the art of hemocraft, which of course Chetney is very practiced in. They then ask about the Vanguard's forces, and Zethuda says that the Exandrian forces are quite diminished, but there are many Ryloran fighters who have been trained since birth. Zethuda also mentions that Exultants are disappearing and that Ludinus sends them off and no one knows where they go. The group theorize that they are being sent to the hallowed cage to weaken it. Fearne's last question is, did you ever love her? Referring to Birdie, Fearne's mother, and he replies he thinks he did. At this point, Fearne's parents arrive to the bar, and Nanamori quickly makes the Zethuda painting go invisible. Birdie starts to prepare a meal for everyone, but Imogen says that they can't stay long with everything going on, so the group head back out to Gloomglut, and Lordna walks with Orym.
You alright?
Nah, but does it matter?
You made a choice. You once supported me for making a very bold choice, and I support you for doing the same.
I don't doubt that I did the right thing. We came here to do something, and we're gonna do it.
Ashton tells Fearne that she should sleep on her ideas about what to do with Gloomglut, and that they won't bother asking her if she is okay. Imogen then confides in Dorian.
And in his head, I'm gonna go, I barfed down there, I threw up.
Oh, I absolutely saw it. I just wasn't gonna make a big deal about it.
Dorian, that shit was nasty.
It was pretty horrible. I mean, I asked to see the loom, but I thought it would be something different.
Like a loom.
Yeah, like a
Not
loom.
Like a
Like
person
yeah, maybe Nice blanket? Or...
Where the fuck what is happening?
I have no idea, but I'm just rolling with it.
Nanamori, at the group's request, modifies the memory of the guard so that they will hopefully go back and convince the Unseelie to pull out of the fight. The emissary, however, manages to resist the spell despite so many spell slots between Nana casting Modify Memory and Lordna casting Bane and Silvery Barbs. The group come to the conclusion that they have to kill the emissary because they can't get through to him no matter how much they try, and so Nana takes him and places him in her garden where he is turned into a living topiary. With a false memory planted in the Guardian's mind, however, whose name we finally learn is Kamal, Dorian casts Gaius on him. And thankfully, after another Silvery Barbs, he fails the save. The group tell him to go, and Dorian sends him off on Coriolis back to the Unseelie. After all of that spellcasting shenanigans, the group decide that they will actually stay here for a long rest, as Nana will be able to help with the time dilation between the Fey realm and the material realm. They talk about how this is a victory, but the mood is pretty somber, and I think most of them, especially Orym, don't really feel like heroes in this moment. They finally get a chance to discuss their meeting with the Archheart. Orym says that everyone they've talked to has a different opinion about what will happen if Predathos is free, but nobody actually knows, so the safest thing is to just leave it and not release it. But Dorian says he thinks it's going to be released no matter what, and he'd rather they be there for it, and Lordna agrees. Fearne says maybe they should talk to some other gods and see what they think, and Lordna shares the vision she had of the Matron of Ravens. Orym says that they don't need to make a decision right now.
And I don't know that we need to decide that we have to throw the switch instead of him when we at least have a chance to cut off his hand before he pulls it.
Yeah.
Job one. He doesn't touch the switch.
It can end with job one if you do it successfully. There's nothing saying that you have to flip the switch and turn reality upside down. None of you can tell me what will happen if one of our friends does what Ludinus wants to do. None of you have any evidence, proof. Intuition doesn't cut it. Your gut does not cut it. You're putting the population of this world at risk. So I hope you are all fucking sure at the end of that road. I'll be there to get you there. I'll stand by your side. I will do my damnedest to keep you all alive. But don't let it be a coin toss. Or let's see what happens, because you just don't know.
Well, then we're very lucky that we no longer have anyone who believes and puts their faith in a coin toss. I'm going outside.
Lordna says that right now at least, they're not making any decisions and they learn more each day. So the group turn in for a rest. Lordna goes back to the bar to get some drinks, and it's there that they find Ashton, who apologizes for storming out. And some of the group go to a hot spring area that is sort of conjured up somehow, including Pate. Breas, however, goes off to pray.
Yeah, I'm gonna just sort of splatter some paint on the wall and kneel before it and just ask if my mission is to destroy Ludinus, but that results in the gods being chased away. Is that my mission? Or do I need to prevent that from happening?
And to which god do you direct your prayer?
Good question. I'm just going to open my mind, and whatever god responds. I might not even know what god responds, or if any god responds. I'm just going to open my mind to both and hope that some answer comes back. If killing Ludinus chases the gods away, is it worth doing?
You stare at the splatters in the wall, and the dripping ink-like paint seems to glide down slowly, then arc, and return, and arc again. The ink expands, no longer just scattered lines, but spilling out into an inky void. where flames erupt. His horns rise, framed in shadow within the dark. What faint bit of interior light glitters across an iron crown? If what is to come is inevitable, then chase the rest away. And we remain.
As Breas contemplates this message, Nana comes in sipping a drink and complimenting his work. Breas confides in her that he feels that everyone in the group has someone or something, and...
I don't want to be alone tonight.
Sets the drink down.
The secret is everyone's miserable. They're just looking for the chance to forget it, even if for a moment.
And she slaps you square on the ass. And begins walking up the stairs.
I'm in the cherry blossom suite.
I will clip-clop after her.
Lastly, Fearne goes to talk to Gloamglut, snuggling in with him and sharpening his claws, cleaning his teeth, speaking gently with him. She removes all of his restraints, telling him that he can go if he wants, but...
And it bites out and grabs the edge of your armor and picks you up. Circles once. Goes and rests in this tight curled circle and places you right in the center of its coiled body, its tail wrapping around.
This is my dream.
Ashton joins them as well, and he tells Fearne that she is the best, and she replies, I know. So, will Gloamglut stay with Fearne, or will he fly away? Will Breas spill any details about what happened with Nana Mori? I don't know. I'm really looking forward to finding out in next episode. Please let me know your favorite moments in the comments, and if you want to watch my full breakdown of the episode where I go into some deep dives about some of the various bits, you can watch that episode right here.